The following content does not reflect the opinions of Fox Sports Radio because it sucks.
All right.
Yo, yo, yo.
Coming to you live from Philly. It's the number one rated Paulie Tony Fusco Show.
Yo, yo, yo.
As always, Paulie Fusco here with Tony Fusco and Tony.
Yo.
Special show today.
Oh, yeah.
You know, first off, we will be addressing the Eagles' so-called loss to the Cowboys. Don't you people worry. And we're going to tell you why the Eagles should totally sue the NFL.
Yeah, court is about to be in session.
Yeah. We're also going to show you, as a special treat for you, the viewer, the best or worst interviews from the NFL season so far that we've done on this show. And, you know, there's a reason for that, of course.
Yep.
We'll give you a little inside baseball here, people. You see,
get your pens
it's
out.
called repurposing. All we got to do is just stick these old interviews in a fresh episode, and bada bing, bada boom, we make tons of money off all the downloads.
Yeah, easy money right in our pockets.
There you go. But before we get to our takes, Tony, you know, our partners at Fox Sports Radio, these clowns, you know what they asked us to do? They said, go tell people to rate and review the show. Why do we need people to review a show that we already know is good?
Yeah, it makes no sense at all.
Yeah, on the subject of something that makes you sense, there's a segue. It's time for a word from our sponsor. Here we go. Our good friends at Boar's Head. Are you serving your family store brand ham for Christmas? Well, then you're a cheap
Yeah, you know, my Aunt Marie's boyfriend Nunzio loves when my aunt serves him roast beef on the holidays. I saw Nunzio and said, "Hey Nunzio, you should get her roast beef shaved at the deli." And then he said, "But I like it hairy." And then
You know
actually,
what?
let's just keep moving.
Yeah,
let's
we'll
just keep
do
moving
that
along.
later anyway.
Yeah, good call.
Yeah, go to boarshead.com, enter the promo code Fusco Holiday for 0.02% off your third holiday ham. What a score and a deal for you.
Another check in the mail.
Let's waste no more time, Tony, and get right into our top story.
Top story.
All right, first out the gate, you know, all these people are saying that the Eagles are now suddenly a bad team because they've lost to the Cowboys and the 49ers. Yeah, these people are they're just morons, Tony, and I can't believe we have to waste precious airtime here explaining that to them. But, you know, there's a strategy here, isn't there, Tony, in a historical perspective, isn't there?
Absolutely. People are saying it's bad that Jalen Hurts is losing these games. But that's because they're forgetting sports history.
Yep.
Think about the Rocky movies. Did Rocky win all 12 rounds?
No.
Never. He always struggled in rounds 7 through 9, the middle rounds.
Yep.
Because he knew he could lose those rounds and still win. You see, that's what Jalen Hurts and Rocky understand that other loser athletes don't. That in order to win, you need to lose.
Makes total sense, Tony. And, you know, these idiots out there, now they're coming up and they're saying that the Eagles are somehow frauds because they lost to the Cowboys and the 49ers. But if there's any fraud that's out there, it's the NFL. Isn't that right?
Absolutely. People are blaming the Eagles for these losses. Why don't you blame the NFL for their terrible scheduling?
Yep.
They forced the Eagles to work an exhausting schedule while giving the Cowboys and 49ers extra days off to rest. That's clearly a labor violation.
Yep.
If I'm Nick Sirianni, I'm filing a claim with the labor board for unfair practices and making sure the NFL is punished for its gross negligence.
Such great legal analysis, Tony. And, you know, you talk about negligence. Well, the Eagles are certainly not guilty of that. What they have done is they have proven exactly how to manage a team through the months of December. Isn't that right?
100%. You know, the most well-run organizations give their employees time off during the holiday season.
Yep.
And that's why the Eagles are so well-run. They gave their employees time off during the games. The Cowboys and 49ers, on the other hand, didn't. And well, if I'm Dallas or San Francisco, I'd be very concerned about employee burnout.
Yep.
Frankly, it's a stark example of poor organizational management.
so true, Tony. And now turning our attention to another
Thank you.
story. People are saying that after the Chiefs lost to the Bills on that controversial call that Patrick Mahomes was whining like a little bitch. And while that's totally true, he did have a reason to complain, Tony. In fact, Patrick Mahomes was being totally logical and reasonable in that moment, wasn't he, Tony?
Totally. When a ref makes a terrible call that they usually don't make, that call should be immediately ignored and overturned.
Yep.
In fact, just to make this totally fair, the NFL should go ahead and apply this clearly necessary rule change to all games completed in the last calendar year.
Yeah.
So, out of fairness, the NFL should give this win to the Chiefs instead of the Bills, and we will accept the Super Bowl victory that no longer belongs to you, Patrick Mahomes. Boom, everybody's happy.
Absolutely. Thank you to Patrick Mahomes again for your
thank
very
you.
fair and logical reasoning.
Stand up move.
Tony, that was a good amount of work we just put in there. And
Totally, that's
now
enough
it's
already.
time. Yeah, it's time now to repurpose some material from past shows.
There you go.
For your enjoyment and the downloads. More importantly, the downloads and revenue we
that's
get.
the key.
But still, your enjoyment anyway.
Of course.
First up, we had Eagles legend Chris Long on the show, who, someone we truly do respect.
And
of course, he
admire.
won a Super Bowl with the Patriots, but we ignore that as we
ignore
mentioned
that.
in this
We don't
episode.
acknowledge that.
Yeah, but still, this was a pretty good interview. Right up until the end there, something kind of went off the rails. Why don't we just go ahead and play it for you?
Fusco Satellite Network.
Today, our guest is someone we actually want to have on the show for a change.
Yeah, for a change.
True Philadelphia hero, a legendary defensive end, won Super Bowl 52 with the Eagles, won another with the Patriots, but we're going to overlook
I don't remember that.
Now he hosts the Green Light podcast. He's trying to get into the media side, like his dad, Howie Long, who's, way more successful at this. But, that could still change. There's still time. And we're giving him some help today, some exposure. So here he is, Chris Long. Welcome back to the show.
Welcome back.
You guys need to work on your intros.
Oh, this guy's been in the business for like 6 months. All of a sudden, he's giving direction. No. Let's work on your intro. You say, thank you for having me.
Thank you for having me.
I respect you so much. There you go.
Yeah,
Good.
I respect you guys.
That's how
we're
you
starting
do
out
it.
a little rocky, but we'll come back. Okay. Here, Chris. So, as you know, on sports shows, just to let you in, we talk about the top stories first, not anything else, okay? So the top story is these jealous haters out there, as you know, they want to ban the tush push. They say it doesn't
ridiculous.
fall within the spirit of the game, whatever that means. But aren't they forgetting the one thing NFL players have that other athletes don't? Huge asses. Don't you think it would be wrong to keep a player from using technically his biggest muscle?
Yeah, I think it would be wrong. I also don't think it's a push as much as a carry. Like they were picking up Jalen Hurts the other night like he was a child, carrying him 5 to 7 yards. And for the NFL, is it more unwatchable than 6 cutaways to Taylor Swift every 30 seconds, man?
See,
now,
there
listen,
you go.
I'm not,
That's a good take.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm not like a Swift hater. Like, I'm sure she's great. And I'm, Travis and her, I hope they live a long, happy life together. But the tush push is not hurting the game. It's helping the game. This is like, don't forget about the demo of middle-aged guys who want to see the tush push. I know you're trying to grow the game, younger audience, but I don't think it's a competitive advantage because other people are totally fine to try it. They haven't done it at the same rate. In fact, the Giants got 2 guys hurt doing it. So maybe it's like, don't try this at home kind of situation, but it's not cheating by any means. If you want to draft bigger linemen, if you don't like it.
Exactly. Don't you think
What a
this will
great
change
take.
how we evaluate quarterbacks? Don't you think the first metric scouts will look at now, they'll look at ass size?
Ass size. Yeah, I like that. You just line them up at the combine and just give them a firm smack in the ass, go down the line. Whoever's ass moves the least, that's the guy you want.
Maybe a grab too, because you need the roundness. Yeah,
you want to feel. Yeah, you want to feel. Maybe if you could set the playbook on the guy's ass, then yeah, you got to draft that guy.
Such a smart, scientific approach there.
Yeah, exactly. You know,
Yep.
our sources tell us Caleb Williams, his ass is alarmingly narrow.
Yep.
As
Oh.
a scout and lineman, how concerned are you with Caleb Williams' ass size?
Well, I'm going. If I'm a scout, my first trip is to Chapel Hill to see what Drake May is working with back there,
Yep.
because Caleb
Great
Williams,
point.
as you mentioned, a little. I don't know what his waist size is, but I think he can fit into high rise pants, whatever kind of pants you want.
Yup.
I don't want a
Skinny
guy
jeans.
like that as my quarterback. I don't want a guy as my quarterback is wearing skinny jeans. You never see Jalen Hurts in skinny jeans.
Nope, absolutely.
He's got to wear big baggy pants because he's got a donk back there, and that's the kind of guy we want under center.
Yep.
There you go.
exactly.
But, just to continue that point there quickly, do you think Jamarcus Russell would have succeeded in today's NFL because he had such a hugely massive ass?
Yeah, it's a totally different game now. I think like Jamarcus Russell would be one of these guys that it wasn't about him. It was the time and the place. I don't think football was ready for him.
Ahead of his time. Yep.
Kyle Trask is a little bit confusing to me because I think he should be getting more burn. Have you seen his ass?
Not recently.
Not recently, he said.
It's
You
been
got
on
to
a
Google. I
bench.
don't know if you guys have Google in your studio, but you should Google Kyle Trask. I don't know how he
All right,
slipped
hold
so
on. Let's
far.
do this, Tony. 1 second there.
Yeah, you're
Kyle
gonna win.
Trask ass. Let's see
Yeah,
what comes
let's see
up here.
here.
This is called in-show, during-show research.
Yeah,
okay?
you don't get this on other shows.
Oh, Tony.
What an ass.
Wow.
Wow.
He is truly a buccaneer back there, Tony.
Yeah,
There's some booty. There's some booty on the pirate ship.
Pirates booty.
I'll tell you that.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
question. Yeah, thing's got his own zip code. I would, in short yardage situations down in Tampa, I would put him under.
Put him in.
Yeah.
Wow, this is terrific NFL analysis.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Let's move on. Last week we made news, I'm sure, as you saw, when we pointed out that the only reason Jalen Hurts lost to the Jets and struggled was because the Jets were also wearing green helmets. And that's confusing.
It is
As a
confusing.
former Eagle, wouldn't you be confused if you were playing the Jets? Like, wouldn't you be like, whoa, which side of the field am I supposed to be lining up
Yeah,
on?
where am I?
Which is what I think the Kelly Greens are so genius, because they kind of look like the grass. And, it's easy to lose guys in that situation, whether it's a rusher or it's AJ on 4th and 3. Like, it's hard to see these guys. And I think the reason that Jalen Hurts threw that pick 2 weeks ago, thank you very much, is so that I could get the Eagles at a reasonable line on Sunday night and win a ton of money on the Birds, because this was free money. Had they won that game against the Jets, maybe they're 4-point favorites, maybe they're 5-point favorites. They'd still cover, but I'd be a lot more scared to play the Eagles on Sunday night. And
We took them at minus 13. We won.
oh yeah, did you?
Yep, we won big.
An all line. You guys hit one of those all lines. Yeah. I loaded up on the Eagles, but yeah, I don't think if they lose that spot. And in all seriousness, man, teams lose games. I mean, I don't know if you realize
Not
this.
really, not really,
Yeah,
but okay.
not really. Okay.
Yeah, there you
I
go.
mean, you're going to have these bumps in the road. And I think it kept the public at bay when it came to betting the Eagles.
Okay, well, let's talk about a game that we know they're going to win. In 2 weeks, the Eagles play the Cowboys. Let's just look back at the times you faced Dak Prescott. Was that like a bye week for you?
No, it wasn't like a bye week. You want to get out there and get good reps in situations where your defense can get home and you can pick off errant passes. So playing the Cowboys, you can look at it like a bye week, but you're sharpening your playmaking skills.
Sure.
When you faced Dak Prescott, what emotions do you think he was feeling? Fear?
Diarrhea.
Yeah, I think it was a lot of diarrhea. I think it was a lot of anxiety. And honestly, like, this was before Trey Lance was even in the building. So, now that Trey Lance is in the building, the guy's probably nervous just showing up to work. And then you get the Eagles
Great
D-line
point.
on top of that. I think they got a real advantage there.
Exactly. In a previous show, we said, Dak's problem is that he throws the ball to 49ers, right?
Mm-hmm.
If there's something we know about Trey Lance, he doesn't throw the ball to 49ers, right?
He does not throw the ball to 49ers.
He sees a 49er, he throws it in the completely opposite direction. So you saying the Cowboys should start Trey Lance instead of Dak?
Yeah, I think maybe Trey Lance should start when they play the Niners. Not that they will in the playoffs or anything. They already had their shot, but I think that was a huge miss on their part. And you guys bring up a great point.
There you go. See,
not bad,
now you're
Paulie.
being more
Pretty
complimentary.
good.
There you go.
Yeah, well, it takes time.
You know, you're in the podcast business now, right? You know, there's a show out there you may have heard of called New Heights. Have you heard of this show?
I've heard of the show. I hear it's wildly entertaining.
You see, they actually have a smart media approach. You got Travis Kelce talking about Taylor Swift and all that. You know, to drive ratings for your podcast, have you ever considered, you know, discussing the A-list pop stars that you want to
Yeah. And the nice thing about my podcast is there aren't a lot of people listening, and certainly my wife's not listening. So that's always great. Maybe I could go there. No, but I think maybe like we could set somebody up on the team with like a celebrity. I think that would be a lot of fun. But also like he's Mr. Maato. You know, what's next? Dancing with the Stars. I mean, he might have been on Dancing with Stars and I just forgot about it. The guy's on so many things. And I think we're going to have Jason Kelce fatigue too after retirement because this guy can do whatever he wants. So maybe we need to hack into the mainframe, so to speak.
So true. Culture. You know, this is why Tony and I only do this show. We don't want to be overexposed. You know, we turn down all other offers.
We create demand.
Many Fortune 500 companies. Okay,
we appreciate that.
Yeah.
You recently made headlines when you said you pitched a solution for all these NFL fans fighting in the stands. You said that instead of stopping the fights, we should put them in an octagon and see who wins. Yeah. So that leads to my next question. How much weed had you smoked when you said that?
Actually, none that day. It was like I waited a while that day. And, you know, I just had tremendous clarity. I was driving over and, you know, you're looking at Dallas Cowboys fans, Chargers fans fighting.
No class.
Covered in blood.
Yep.
There's
no class.
Water. There's no class, right? Eagles fans have never been in a fight, which I think is really. And in fact, like they used to have a jail at the vet just in case, but I hear there was never anybody in there.
Good deterrent.
Yeah, it's like it's a great deterrent. But like as far as these fights, not that I enjoy them because we all agree that we can't enjoy these fights
speak for
anymore.
yourself, okay? No, okay.
But I just don't like the playing surface. We can't be fighting in the concourse, beer-drenched concourse. I don't know how to score the fight. So selfishly, I want to be able to enjoy these things. Let's put them. You know, you guys ever heard of waivers? I think I had to sign one before I came on this show. Waivers, the way they work is like whatever bad that happens is no big deal. And so like I would just sign a waiver, have these folks get in the drunk tank, if you will, the cage, and you could have people side bet these fights. And I think, you know, it's just another stream of revenue for the NFL.
You know, Tony, I think we might need to start smoking whatever you're smoking. I kind of think that was a brilliant idea there.
Yeah,
all right.
Exactly, dude. Exactly.
All right. Well, you can send us a little of that care of Tony. He handles all that.
Okay.
I'll take care of it.
You know,
Tony's a drug guy.
Yeah, you could say I'm an entrepreneur of sorts. So we'll just leave it at that.
There you go. That's the way. Okay. But, you know, we are businessmen. And, you know, now that you're in podcasts, you know, you did a good job last week because you made headlines. You know, but we're really experts at making what you'd call viral content. We know how to make clickable headlines. And, you know, since you're brethren, you know, we're both members of the Eagles organization. We want to help you make more clickable content. Okay. So we're going to set you up and you just answer it. Now, here you go. So here's your first question. Okay. Who was the worst teammate you ever had? Take your time. Think of all the views you'll get, all the hits.
Michael Bennett. Because, you know, Michael Bennett used to make me drive him home from work every day at NovaCare. I had to Google his career earnings. It's fucking what you would expect. He would never drive himself home. He'd wait for 2 hours till I finished studying film, just hovering around me, and make me drive him the complete opposite direction that I was driving on the way home from work.
Chris Long says Michael Bennett.
Michael Bennett, cheap.
There you go.
Also,
great headline.
Also, the rush lanes at times were really challenging. You know, we'd be right on top of each other trying to rush the quarterback. So as much as I enjoy Michael Bennett, that's my answer. It might be Michael Bennett, the best, worst teammate of all time, because nobody made me laugh harder but I never wanted to drop it.
No, we're being nice now. We're hedging our bets. We're hedging our bets here.
Here's your next one. Who is the smelliest player you ever played with or against?
Yeah, envision the headline.
Yeah, the headline.
Yahoo Sports, your
it.
name on the front page.
Let me think
Yeah,
about
Howie
it.
Long's son says blank is the smelliest player.
Exactly.
MSN.com.
Brandon Graham.
Okay.
He always smelled like food because he was always eating. You know, whatever time of day it was, he was snacking. So he'd have like cheese ball residue here. He'd have
there
some
you
food
go.
still in
Nasty.
the beer.
Nobody
there
wanted
you
to
go.
block him,
There's
too,
the
I'm sure.
headline. Chris
Yeah.
Long calls Brandon Graham nasty, smelly pig. See?
Yeah.
There you go. Perfect.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
good.
and guys didn't want to block him. You see all these times
Yeah.
BG
Oh,
just
look at his hands. That's disgusting.
It's
Get
not
away
the
from
hands.
me.
He's got Cheetos all over his fingertips.
Absolutely
Yeah.
disgusting. Great headline there. Okay, here, you're on a roll here, Chris.
Yeah.
So here you go.
Yeah,
Another one for you. You know, you were obviously teammates with the great legend Nick Foles.
The great.
We ask this solely out of journalistic responsibility. How giant is his cock?
You see my arm?
Hold
like
on.
that.
Let me look.
Hold on.
Like that.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like that. It's
Was
like
that after shrinkage in the shower or post?
I don't think shrinkage. I think like an entire weather system would have to move in to create shrinkage for Nick Foles.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't think it's like a cold shower is going to do it. You got to like get a cold front. You need like the jet stream to bring in something from the Arctic.
This is
journalism right here.
You know the slides that people in the event that the plane gets in, when these planes get grounded, they always act like you just slide down the slide. It's not like that.
So if Nick Foles were on a plane that had an emergency landing,
Exactly.
they could theoretically slide down on his giant
Basically, yeah. So at the beginning of every flight, they would be like, "Hey, seatbelts fastened. Here are your life jackets. We're not going to need those because if Nick can swim, we can all just hop on the lifeboat, the banana boat. But if in the event that we have to deplane, Nick, there's the exit. Maybe we get Jason Peters to throw the door because that always seems like it's a hard thing. You got to turn it and then throw the door. So JP, you got the door, and then Nick, you just let that thing flop.
Unzip your pants,
And
saving
then
lives.
The first guy off the plane is going to be Dougie P, and then we let the players go after Dougie P. So we had the whole drill down.
Yep.
Okay, see, there it is. Chris Long says Nick Foles' penis is so big it could save lives.
It could save lives. It could also
Wow,
destroy
Nick Foles
lives.
has life-saving penis. Okay, would you be willing to call Nick Foles and ask him to take a picture of his cock, just out of journalistic responsibility so he could send it to us?
Right now.
Now, see, I have no need to see it again. I mean, it's kind of like
No, we're asking you as we had you on the show, we gave you exposure.
Now you return the favor to us and you get Nick Foles to send us.
It's only fair.
Oh,
Yeah.
so it's a quid pro quo.
Yeah.
You're helping me by having me on the show. I'm helping you guys by getting a dick pic from Nick Foles.
Yes. Just for
I
journalism.
probably could get you a Brett Favre more easily.
No. You see, we've seen that one already. Again, out of journalistic purposes.
Yeah.
You couldn't evacuate a Cessna with Brett Favre's deal.
No, we're not. We're just asking you, get on your phone now and text Nick Foles and just say, hey, dick pic.
I'm not. I
All
can't
you
do it.
know
I
what?
lost his number.
We
I
bring you
lost his
on
number.
the show.
Guess what? We
give
do
you
a
this
favor for you.
exposure. Well, guess what, Chris Long?
Guess what?
You should
Me
call
Chris
yourself
Long.
Chris
More like
Short,
Chris Short.
because that's
Yeah.
how long you spent on this show.
It's a wrap for you.
They said
You're off
the
the
evacuation
show.
guy. You're the
You're not
evacuation
long
guy.
for this show.
Fusco Satellite Network.
Tony, we were just doing journalism there, you know?
That's our job. We
Yeah.
were doing our duty.
Exactly. Our job to ask the hard-hitting
Yeah.
questions. And,
Get
well,
the
he
truth.
couldn't handle it, obviously. And you know who else couldn't handle it? Segue it, Tony. Is
Perfect.
former NFL QB Drew Bledsoe, who we had on the show again for
Yup.
reasons that I can't understand. But,
Same here.
we brought him on to ask him some very hard-hitting questions, especially about how he sucked with the Cowboys. And, he didn't handle it very well, did he?
Nope.
No. Anyway, well, let's play that clip.
Fusco Satellite Network.
All right, this guy, considered to be one of the greatest quarterbacks in NFL history. Not by us, but by some other people who don't know that much about football, you know. 4-time Pro Bowler, led the Patriots to the Super Bowl in 1996, you know, but then they lost to the Packers, so unfortunately wound up meaning, totally nothing.
Exactly.
He also played for the Bills and Cowboys, which we'll get into anyway. Let's just get him in here. Drew Bledsoe, welcome back to the show.
What's happening, fellas? Good to see you again.
Thank you.
And when I say good, that's as nice as I'm going to be. You know how I actually really feel.
Oh, we're going to start like this? Okay.
He's already sweating, Tony.
Yeah, I am.
He feels the blitz coming. The Paulie and Tony blitz is coming.
I had to go work out some aggression because I knew I was going to have to jump on with you two. So I got my work in already. Now I'm ready. I'm ready.
Don't
Let's
worry,
go.
this is going to be work for us.
Yeah.
All right, here, let's just get into it. All right, as you know, Drew, the Eagles lost to the Jets on Sunday, all right? You know, Jalen Hurts, 3 picks, and it's very clear to see
misleading.
why. It's the uniform colors. You know, both teams, they're wearing green helmets. The Jets, they're basically out there camouflaged as the Eagles. You know, as a quarterback, you know, don't you think it's confusing? I mean, when you were on the Patriots, you know, you're playing the Bills who also wear red, white, and blue. Didn't you get confused?
You know what? It's a valid point, man. You know, you go out there and you run around and you got very similar colors, and yeah, that can be frustrating. There's no question. Pretty surprising game, though. I got to be honest. It was like, shoot, man, the Niners and the Eagles go down in the same weekend. I don't know. Anybody that's in one of the survivor pools is dead now.
Well, the Niners went down because they suck, but the Eagles got tricked because the other team wore camouflage.
Don't you think that the Jets should have been forced to wear, like, you know, orange or maybe yellow, you know, make it more distinctive?
I think so. I mean, I think it's, you know, we almost to Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Maybe they could have worn on, you know, all pink. That would have been way more fair.
Great point. There you go. We're off to a good start here.
All right. You know, he's trying. Okay. But, you know, just, you know, on the subject of Jalen Hurts, you know, Drew, as a QB, you know, you were known for your arm. But, you know, you look at Jalen Hurts, the success he's having. Does that make you regret, you know, not being more mobile, you know, just kind of standing around like a Frankenstein back there?
Yeah, I like what you did there. Yeah, did you pull a muscle trying to use that big word, immobile?
Aren't you the same guy who pulled a muscle and let the Patriots win the Super Bowl? Yeah, you know about
good point. That was Desmond Howard's fault, by the way. Oh. Yeah, no, Jalen, he's different Super Bowl, but okay. I'll be serious for 1 minute with you morons. Jalen Hurts is a guy that I have so much respect for. And you know, off the field is a rock star of a human.
Kiss that ass. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I really love the way that he's playing, because he's throwing the ball really well. And,
all right, we know this already. Come on.
He's a force of nature. So all right, now we
have two eyes. Go. Were you going to say something there? That was a bunch of we already know.
Let me be honest. I could have run more. So that was a conscious decision. You know, I'm actually really, really fast. I just never really showed it off.
No, well, not mentally. I mean, come on. You did you see your tape? I mean, you were about as mobile as a tree.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, you're right. I don't really have any defense there, guys. So you know what? Yeah, I can't.
Well, you didn't have much offense either, so you know you pretty much fucked out. Well, so let's move on.
Let's change gears a little bit. Let's talk Cowboys here. You know, you did have some success in your career with the Patriots and the Bills. Then you went to Dallas and you kind of sucked. So what happens in Dallas that just causes QBs to suck?
Great question.
Well, I do recall fairly clearly beating the Birds up there in Philly very late in the game.
Oh, no. Hold on just a moment. Let's just clear the air here.
There was another game where we kicked your ass down in Dallas. But I know we don't want to talk about that.
No. What we want to talk about is your lifetime record against the Eagles. What is that number, Drew?
I don't know. At least we at least won a couple.
Exactly, and then you lost 3, 2 and 3.
Wow. You're on your way to 4, just so you know. Yeah.
Yeah, no, you guys, it was interesting, you know, growing up on the West Coast, I had a whole bunch of buddies that were 49ers fans. And idiots. So when I joined the Cowboys, they're like, man, I don't know if we can even cheer for you. I mean, we've known you since we were 12 years old, and I guess we can kind of try to cheer for you, but man, when people hate the Cowboys, they really hate the Cowboys.
Well, that is something that we can bond about. But Tony had a great question there. The Cowboys, they always seem to have, mediocre or just total dog piss QBs. You were among those. Why are the Cowboys so bad at judging quarterbacks? What is their problem there?
Yeah.
What? There's been some good guys in there. You go back to Staubach, you go back to Aikman.
Yeah, there have been good presidents. Ronald Reagan. Exactly. Dwight Eisenhower, good.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, well, Dak's starting to look better. He had a nice game the other day against the Chargers. So, you gotta be careful.
Yeah.
Do you notice that Dak, he's only beaten injured quarterbacks this year? You look at Justin Herbert, broken hand. Mac Jones, he's got blurred vision. Aaron Rodgers out for the year, And Daniel Jones, completely unusable body. Doesn't that take away, as a quarterback, doesn't that take away from a win when you beat someone who's basically infirmed?
Well, I mean, let's not pick on the handicapped. I mean, I'm on with you two morons. So,
you're going to start, huh?
Yeah, we're going to handicap you. Don't worry.
Exactly.
I'm on with two mentally handicapped people, and I just don't think that lowers the value of this.
Don't worry. When I break those 2 wine bottles behind you over your head.
Yeah, over your head.
You'll have some trouble thinking then. But, on that note, let's give you a little IQ test here, okay?
Yeah.
Do you think Dak couldn't get the Cowboys to the Super Bowl?
I think that's a possibility, especially if that defense keeps playing the way they are. Their defensive front is, and that's the quarterback's very best friend. You got an offense and defensive line, and man, all of a sudden playing quarterback gets a lot easier.
No, actually, Dak's best friend is his travel agent. Isn't that right, Tony? Just break down the numbers there.
The average Super Bowl ticket is around $8,000, Drew. So with transportation and lodging, it's around $600,000 for Dak to take the team to the Super Bowl, which he can easily afford given his bad, very overvalued contract.
Seems like a Super Bowl lock, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good math. I'm impressed that you're able to pull that off. Yeah, we'll see.
Another line like that, and I'll pull you off this show.
Yep.
Anyway, let's move on.
Yeah.
Let's move to your former coach there, who wisely got rid of you, Bill Belichick. Obviously he's having a rough season, right?
Yeah, not good.
But, Drew, let's take a moment here. Don't you think it's so sad how his legacy is now ruined? I mean, now
gone.
When people think about Belichick, they don't think about the Super Bowls. They think about him being 1-5 and having lost to pathetic teams like the Saints and Raiders. It's just, isn't it so sad that that's his legacy now?
Yeah, that's really terrible that, only 6 Super Bowl wins and, 20-something straight years of playoffs.
Yeah, but that's overshadowed.
Yeah, what Super Bowl wins? I don't even remember those.
Right.
I remember getting blanked by the Saints.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's tragic that the 20-some year run of unprecedented success and victories just is completely forgotten now forever.
I know, it's so sad.
It is sad. So you agree. Very good.
Yeah.
Yep.
Tragic.
Yeah. All right. I can't tell if he's being serious or not.
I sense a hint of sarcasm.
I think he may have taken a swig out of those bottles behind him. All right, but hold on. Look, moving to more of a sports media topic, you may have seen this, Drew. Pat McAfee, he's a sports talk show host in the business, competing with us, not winning, but trying.
Yeah.
He's been taking shots, and rightly so, because it's been revealed that he pays guests big money to come on his show, which is just pathetic. On this show, we have high moral character and journalistic integrity. We would never stoop so low.
Yep.
As a guest yourself, don't you think it's so much better that you don't get paid to do this?
Well, I have one comment, and then one. Geez, man, I'm starting to talk like you guys. One comment. I have one comment, and then
we have Elmer Fudd on the show right now. Yeah,
I do think that that's totally, despicable that he would pay people to come on his show.
Exactly.
And then my question is, do you have his number and a way to get a hold of him?
Oh, you're going to try to use us to get to him?
You know what number I have? I have a number for you. That's 0. The amount of seconds you have left on the show.
I got a number for you. It's called 1-800-OFF THE SHOW.
You're out of here. You're
out of here. You're off the show.
I'd pay you to and 4 against the Eagles.
See ya.
Fusco Satellite Network.
Just another terrible interview.
Bledsoe sacked again, out for the season again.
Well said, Tony. And
Thank you.
you know, we were originally planning to show more clips, but that was so bad that I think we should just end the show here.
I can't take any more.
You know, and
good call.
What's great is our producer. He didn't even bother to show up today.
Oh, thank God.
Which is great because I didn't want to see his face.
Yeah,
anyway,
same here.
But you know what I do want to see?
Who?
Next week on the show, just booked. Eagles legend, Super Bowl hero Nick Foles will be here.
Wow, what a Christmas treat.
In the meantime,
what a holiday
don't
treat.
forget, go to our merch store, buy the merch for the
Buy all
holiday
the merch.
season.
It's the
Get
holiday
your grandma,
season.
grandpa something special.
Yup.
Subscribe, follow the show on YouTube, TikTok. We're all over. And hey, Tony, you know, we didn't have to do a lot this week, but it was a great job by you.
Same to you, Paulie. Another flawless show.
There you go. We'll see you people next week.
See ya.